had something, before you had nothing. I don't want to care, but your love's real, and it's an odd thing. I cannot be your whole world. We sit on the fake grass, and I won't believe that. And I never had enough for you, but you said someone will come and replace me. How can you replace me? While it's true, it's all good now. When there's nothing, 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 that's all that you and mine. And these tears fall in the sunlight. When there's nothing, 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 that's all that you and mine.
Please don't stop the video stop. Please don't stop the video stop. Please don't stop the video stop. Please don't stop the video stop.
One love, you're headed on your own love. Time not to be there. She says she won't care. Now you had something, before you had nothing. I don't want to care, but your love's real, and it's an odd thing. I cannot be your whole world. You sit on the fake grass, and I won't believe that. And I never had enough for you, but you said someone will come and replace me. How can you replace me? While it's true, it's all good now. When there's nothing, 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 that's all that you and mine. And these tears fall in the sunlight. When there's nothing, 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 that's all that you and mine. Got no time for me. There's no time for me. Got there's no time for me. Got no time for me. There's no time for me. Got no time for me. You ain't got no time for me. While it's true, it's all good now.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Austin? Welcome back to the 1 hour lunch break, your go-to podcast for all things Austin, straight from the heart of a beautiful city. I am Saint, one half of the 2 hour lunch break, and I got my co-host with me.
Trotwood Zeus. I'm the other half of the 2 hour lunch break podcast. So we're coming to you live from Darwin Studios, East Austin, Texas. Starting off, man, shout out to our good sponsor, Favor for setting this up. We wouldn't be able to do this without them. They always keep us fueled with all the tasty snacks and treats that help us while we're doing this deep dive in the community.
Yeah. Now you already know how we do it here at the 2 hour lunch break podcast. We're always vocalizing and emphasizing voices of Black and brown communities, both entrepreneurs, artists, and creatives. So instead of our usual interviews right now, we'll do a 1 hour live interview to just chop it up here in Austin to talk about the things that are going on in ATX.
Yeah, man. So kick back, grab your snacks. We're getting ready to chop it up with your favorite podcast hosts. Before we start, though, as always, you can find us on all streaming platforms, and on social media, you can find us on X at the 2 hour lunch and on Instagram at 2HLBpod. Let's get to it.
Let's get into it, man.
Hey.
So what's going on, man? How's your week been?
Oh man, it's been going pretty good, bro. I'm fresh from the office. Before I pulled up, I was literally in hard bottoms.
Yeah.
Tucked in shirt,
Yeah.
all that, bro. So I'm glad to be free. I see you got the T on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Austin versus all y'all.
Yeah, man,
all y'all
I'm
boys.
just glad to kick back, man. We dealing with some warm weather. It's like what, 90?
Yes.
Almost
Yeah.
outside, man. You know what I mean?
a brisk 90.
Right, man. So what's up with you?
Man, nothing much, man. Just, working, trying to keep my head above water, really. Just had a lot of projects, man. Just had a lot of projects dealing with that, and then just going through the day. Plus, the kids got
prom season.
Yeah, right. Prom season. We got 7-on-7 football.
Ooh.
It's just, ripping and running.
Right.
Ripping
I know
and
it.
running,
I
dog.
know how it go.
Ripping and running. I need a mental health break.
Right. Yeah, man. So let's get into it, man. So starting out, right? So I know we're talking about all the ins and outs of everything that's going on in the city, even the surrounding area, man. So let's talk about Manor ISD.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. So Manor ISD, man, they just introduced offering mental health days.
Yeah.
Right. So Manor ISD, they're rolling out this new benefit 2024, 2025. So next school year, they'll start giving the employees time off to take care of their mental health days. Full-time Manor ISD employees get 1 health day a semester for the school year. Part-time, they qualify disproportionate on the amount they work. That's going to be in addition to any kind of like sick time or vacation time that they do have, man.
Yeah.
Man, so what do you think about that?
Man, first off, shout out to any teacher, educator out there, man. We already know y'all don't get enough credit.
Right.
So let's start there. I want to start there before we move forward.
Right.
But I think this is a great initiative. And why? Because, no one really knows what the perfect mental health looks like, right? I think only you have a barometer, or you have the capacity to make a determination on, okay, how am I feeling today?
Right.
Like, what is my peace level? Am I frustrated, or am I, over agitated? And do I have anxiety right now? So I think this is perfect way and a perfect opportunity for people to, kind of recalibrate and get their minds back on track.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like teaching is like really one of the most strenuous occupations you can have.
Yeah.
Like taking a step aside, like I kind of bring myself into it. Like in college, I actually went to school to be a teacher. Like
Really?
I was gonna be a history teacher. I majored in history. All of that, like that's what I was gonna do. Like
Whoa.
I was gonna be a teacher, dog. Because you know how I research and write papers and all that. Like that's my bag.
Yeah. What was your instructor like? Would you be like Professor P or what?
I plan on being either a middle school or high school teacher. So I'll probably be like Mr. P or Coach P or something.
Okay, I got you.
Something along that line.
Yeah.
Right. And so
I can see it.
I had done that all through college, and then probably like my junior year.
Okay.
I like really did a deep dive on because I'm getting ready to I'm graduating next year. What's the job market gonna look like? Fam, I started looking at like teacher salaries, bro.
He said not flying.
And fam, I made like a hard course correction. I was like, dog, they not paying teachers. And this was, I graduated 2012.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so it was even lower then than than what it is now.
Yeah, man.
And
yeah, man.
I can't fathom the kind of workload that teachers go through as far as dealing with other people's children.
Yeah,
Probably 20 plus kids per class.
yeah.
Every single day, multiple classes, and then on top of that, you probably got a couple bad apples in there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's such a strenuous thing, and schools are underfunded.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers are underfunded.
Mm-hmm.
They have to come out of a pocket themselves a lot of times.
Exactly.
And so I think something like this, they need this just to get through to the end of the school year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I feel like they should probably do that maybe once a month.
Right.
Not instead of just once a semester.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I feel like not even just Maine or ISD, but just teachers in general.
Mm-hmm.
We need to do a lot better about doing better by them.
Yeah.
They need to get paid more because the jobs that they do is so important to the community, to the greater community. This is who is with our children
Right.
for a majority of the day when they're not home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, break them teachers off, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Which leads me, really, honestly, leads me to another thought and point. I was actually online watching, scrolling while I was using the, restroom, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw this other teacher who actually got fired recently
Yes.
for
Yep.
letting his students braid his hair, or unbraid his hair, actually. So for background story, if people don't know, there was a young black man who was actually a high school professor, and he said he doesn't plan on having any children, didn't want any children, but his ministry is teaching, and he feels like these children are his kids. With that being said, he showed on Instagram Live showing a post with his students taking down his hair, and was soon after that fired because of the controversy that it had. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. If he had a mental health day, he would have been able to do that on his own. But he
got a point.
He had too much on his plate.
You
so.
got a point. I can't even lie. If he had a mental health day that day, he would have had the room to take his hair down beforehand, and this wouldn't have even been an issue. Talking about that case, right?
Yeah.
This wouldn't have even. Of course, from all appearances, it looks like his intentions weren't negative, at least as far as we know.
Yeah, at least as far as we know. Yeah.
What I will say, I feel like it could have been handled differently.
Yes.
Had it been me.
Yes.
Right. And I just decided I had students that I was close enough with that I just was going to let them do that. One, I would have never posted it. Yeah. Right. That's one. Two, if I was going to post it, I would have blurred all the faces out. All the faces out, because there's a potential of an upset parent. It could be a minor that's under 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're posting a minor without their consent.
Right.
It's a lot of different variables.
A lot of bags in there. Yeah.
He could have handled that better.
Yeah, a lot of things to unpack there, but I definitely agree with you.
Right. But going back to what we were talking about, if he had a mental health day, this wouldn't even been a problem.
This wouldn't been a problem.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't have been a problem.
So yeah, man. Just like we were saying earlier, I think something like this needs to be everywhere. It needs to become ubiquitous, right? I think every school district needs to start instituting this. I do think it's probably going to start in areas like Austin, like big city areas, areas that kind of more left leaning.
Yep.
Probably Austin, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. Even when you get out of the state, I mean, you could go national, like DC, New York City, Oakland, LA. I think cities like that is probably where it's going to start taking root, because the conversation around mental health has changed a lot. Absolutely. Over even the last 10 years. Right. If they had brought this up in 2010, an administrator probably would have gotten laughed off the school board had they brought something like that up.
No,
you know
what
I
real.
mean?
For real.
Now, like I said, the conversation has changed. So there's a lot more room for being able to accommodate a lot of these teachers that you're already underpaying anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and sign that up for everybody. Get AISD, get Pflugerville ISD, man. Get all them districts around the area, man.
Right.
Get them teachers a break. Get them teachers some money.
What do you think the ISDs or these school districts? Our last 1 hour interview news break, we had a conversation about, shout out to our alumni Alex Okafor
Yeah, shout out to
for making place 1 right at
Right,
Pflugerville ISD.
Yep.
What do you think these ISDs can do to contribute to give more to some of these teachers, to help out, to say, hey, we see you, we appreciate you? Do you think there's something that they could do potentially?
Well, I'll be honest, and this is just from me looking at it from a satellite view.
Yeah, right.
I do think that there should definitely be like a reallocation of funding, right? You know, you see like a lot of like, you know, on campus like police and you know all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these districts, especially like the districts that have more money, like if you want to take into consideration like Ames ISD, where Westlake is at,
Right.
or Lake Travis, or you know Leander, any of those districts, you know, in that area of town, they definitely have the room to be able to like reallocate a lot of those funds, and like, hey, you know, let's compensate these teachers first.
Yeah, how can
right?
we?
If they have a better quality of living, the less stress they're going to be under in their day-to-day lives. Right. And in addition to that, let's also add, you know, those mental health days to where we have fully sane educators dealing with our children daily, because like that's the thing, that's the important part of it. They're dealing with our children. I got kids.
Yeah.
My kids are in elementary school.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they're dealing with these teachers every single day.
Every day.
Right? I want the people that are teaching my children to be as sane as humanly possible, because they deal with a lot. And also on top of that, we haven't even addressed like, you know, the fear of like, you know, not to get too deep into it. But, you know, you got issues with gun control in schools.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. Not to get too, you know, deep divey.
Yeah.
But you got that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, man, that I think
to your point,
reallocation of funds.
right? I think to your point also, the B part for me, would be another aspect to think about it, because when I quantify it, like you said, I'm looking at it from my personal perspective, right? I got 3 kids in high school.
Yeah.
Round Rock High School has over 3,000 students.
Huge. Huge.
So if they have over 3,000 students, I can only imagine how many teachers they have. So that means that every classroom is overpopulated.
Booked, like packed
And
packed
busy.
out,
Booked and busy.
packed out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to have to deal with, let's say on a low ball, let's say 30 personalities
Per class.
and we got what, 6? Oh no, 8. 6 to 8. We got 8
Depending-
classes,
yeah,
depending
depending
on your class schedules,
Right.
right? So that's, I don't even care how many that personalities you got to deal with every single day. And that's another kid maybe saying, I forgot my homework, my dog ate it. So making up this excuse, or I'm reading your essay and it's clearly Chat GPT'd.
Right. Yeah. With that good AI on that thing.
Fam, don't try to hustle man me, right?
Uh-huh.
So having to deal with that, man, I think another thing that they could probably do aside from this mental health is just assisting in just the standard necessary needs, because I know a lot of teachers that I talk to, whenever I have the opportunity, they're coming out, like you said, they're coming out of pocket to, fulfill their classroom, make certain their classroom has all the standard supplies, make certain their students are mindful and meaningful of the assignments at hand. Even though a lot of our stuff is electronic now, it's still important to have those supplies and equipment. So I think even having that will be a benefit. And a lot of times I hear about they're not even getting reimbursed sometimes for those supplies.
Yeah, you got a point.
So that's just hurtful, man. Right. That's just hurtful. I just really I'm championing and so thankful that Texas has been so glad to spearhead this, and I think Texas is on the cutting edge. You know what I'm saying? So before we move forward, man, want to definitely shout out everybody in the live chat. Want to shout out Constance. Want to shout out.
I love you, babe.
Yeah. Want to shout out my boy Noah. Want to shout out my boy Cal Isom. Appreciate y'all for joining the chat, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, also Dez. Shout out to Dez, man. Appreciate you for joining the chat. Really appreciate it. But let's move on. What else
man.
are we talking
I was
about
gonna
here in
say,
Texas?
Since we already talking about education.
Yeah,
right?
let's keep
And
going.
we gonna segue into a topic I know that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Right, as a HT alum.
Oh yeah.
You know what they call
shout
it?
out to the Mighty Rams.
What do they call it? the Framily? Framily?
Framily.
Yeah,
Framily.
Framily.
Shout out
right,
to the
yeah.
Framily.
Shout out to the Framily,
Yeah.
right? So Houston Tillotson, man, Austin's own HBCU, the oldest college institution in the city of Austin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They are celebrating Congressman Greg Kazar. I
Yes,
can't mention his name.
Greg
up
Kazar.
before. Greg Kazar, a local congressman. I think he is over the district that stretches from North Austin all the way down to East San Antonio, right? So it's a pretty big area. His office was able to secure a grant for $850,000. They went ahead and pledged that to HT, who is using that grant to renovate 2 residence halls on campus.
Yes, sir.
Right? So anybody that's been to HT's campus,
Yeah.
anybody that's an alum,
Hold
or
on, let me steal this from you because I don't want you to catch no flack for saying this. But anybody who's attended HT's campus knows that they need that money for those dorms. All right, them dorms is hurting. All right, actually, we ain't gonna say no names, but we had an interview and somebody asked a question: what they gonna do with them dorms? When they gonna fix these dorms? So I am so thankful to hear this. I'm so excited to hear this. This is well deserved, well deserved, and very much needed. Very much needed.
So, off the top of your head,
Yeah.
Do you know what dorms that they're going to be
So-
upgrading? Because I know they said 2.
Yeah.
And they only got
2,
but a few.
Yeah, they only got 2. So
Okay.
Brett Barrows is the men's dorm, and Alan Frazier is the women's dorm. So they'll be renovating those 2 dorms. I don't think there were any details as to what the plans were just yet. Right?
they didn't give any details. I think that's supposed to go into effect the next school year, and I think they'll roll out a plan as far as what exactly is going to be changing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because, like we were saying earlier, those dorms have been around since the 60s.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's probably like a lot of interior stuff they got to do.
bro.
Probably, air conditioning and piping.
Right.
And
All that
plumbing
stuff. All
and,
that stuff.
all that stuff.
All
You
that
know what I
stuff.
mean? Just some things that are overdue because, one, HBCUs historically are like criminally underfunded.
Underfunded. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's been literal suits.
Yeah.
In multiple states over the fact that HBCUs are so underfunded. It's criminal and it's with intent. HT should have probably gotten this money decades ago. Just off funding alone, where this grant shouldn't even be necessary. We're happy that it's happening.
Yes.
But it shouldn't even be necessary for them to have to do that. We shouldn't have
Right.
dorms that shouldn't be sitting unrenovated
Right.
since the 60s. My parents were born in the 60s.
He said, "Come on, man."
You know what I mean?
Nah.
Like, come on now.
But see, that's the crazy part about HT and other private HBCUs like this, right? So HT in particular, if you quantify the dollar amount, I don't know the dollar amount it takes to run on an annual basis, but I know out of that grand total amount, let's say it takes $100 million, right? For an example, I'm just throwing it out there. Usually, more often than not, based off of the tuition, that's only 30% of what your overall overhead is. So the other 70, you got to go out and find sponsors, find assistants, find people that are willing to donate and give.
It's that private
That's that private institution. So the fact that one, I'm again, as you said, I'm so appreciative that they're being able and allowing an opportunity for this to happen to HT. But it's such a hustle for you to work at an HBCU like that because of the simple fact of every single day you got to eat. You eat what you kill, and if you don't kill nothing, you're not eating. So with that being said, you got to make certain that you just got to make certain that you're on your game. And I want to give a special shout out to HT. Also, shout out to Dr. Wallace,
Yeah, I was about to say
alumni
that.
of
Right.
the pod. You
Shout
know what
out
I'm saying?
Dr. Wallace.
You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't checked that out, make sure
Doing good
y'all
work.
check out that episode. You know what I mean?
doing good work, man. So I know since you're an HT alum,
Yes, sir.
for the most part, I know those 2 dorms are basically like the landing spot when a freshman first gets to HT.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So now that this renovation is happening, kind of tell us what was that experience like when you very first got to HT and you were in the men's dorm and you got a chance to like look around. What was that like?
Man, I remember when we pulled up. Me and my mom pulled up from Cali in 2004,
Okay.
and we drove around the school twice and didn't realize it was
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So that was probably the first culture shock, right? We was like, oh, this is a school. Oh, that's crazy. So we got to the dorms. I put my stuff in the dorms, and I met my roommate. Shout out to my roomie, Matthew Morris. He's actually a graduate of. He graduated from HT, got his master's at Columbia University, and is now an educator.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Matthew Morris. I don't know if he got his doctoral yet, but either way, shout out to him. But yeah, to answer your question about the experience, man, like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know what to expect, right? Because I mean, I'm watching School Days. So I'm
Right,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
G5G. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in here. I'm like, yo, it's gonna
G5G.
be
That's what we wanna be.
crazy parties. You know what I'm saying? But you walk in there and realize that, you know, it is about cultivating yourself. It is about creating a better you, right? It is also about learning and educating yourself to the best of your abilities and using the resources and networking to, you know, catapult yourself into a greater position. So I'm gonna be honest, them dorms were terrible though. Them dorms were awful, but they won't be
Yeah.
no more.
Right.
So
So big thing with that,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, so I know you're an HT alum.
Yeah.
HT produces like a lot of quality degrees.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of they put people in every job sector, education, you know, the medical field, everything you can think of. There's if it's in Austin, there's 9 times out of 10 there's going to be an HT alum involved in that, right? And so even, you know, my personal story, like a big reason that my family is even here is because of HT. Like my great aunt,
yeah.
shout out my aunt Lola.
Shout out Aunt Lola.
She just passed a couple months ago.
We gonna
My
miss
aunt
you.
Lola
We miss you.
was the first person from my family in Warden County, Texas.
Okay.
Right, shout out Warden County, Texas. She moved from Warden County to Austin to go to HT in the early 50s, right? And eventually, once she set up shop,
Yeah.
she got her degree, got a teaching job, opened up a couple restaurants,
Yeah.
shout out La Petite, and all of her siblings moved from Warden to Austin and used her as like the jumping off
To start.
to go into the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, HT has been an integral part of my life, right? So kind of taking a step back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
HT produces a lot of great people,
Yeah,
right?
I
And that's just being underfunded,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now that a lot of financial contributions are taking place at this point, imagine what HT will be able to do going forward with facilities that are up to par. Like imagine if they were funded how they were supposed to be. Imagine the output at that point what HT would be doing. Like, and we're talking like historically millions of dollars that this school should have been funded.
Right.
Imagine the output at that point. HT might run the city.
Right. No.
If you want to keep it a
buck, yeah, no, for
you
real.
know what I mean?
For real.
So yeah, man.
I mean, and that's the narrative, right? When people think that, I think that's also the frustrating narrative when people I know a lot of people probably say, you know, I went to college in Austin. They'd be like, oh, UT.
Right, yeah.
Off bumper, right? And it's no diss to UT. It's just like, no, there's other avenues, right? There's also Concordia. There's also St. Ed's. There's plenty of schools out here that will provide a quality experience that you don't have to attend this, you know, large conglomerate of university in order to succeed in life, right? And to your point, man, just that money alone, that seed money alone right there could be the catalyst to make, you know, all these better dreams come true, right? Because if you're in a good mental health space, you go back to your dorm, you know, you chilling, you vibing out. It's nice, it's clean, it's fresh. You know what I'm saying? This is a brand new dorm. I'm the first, you know, person to sleep in this one, so I ain't got to trip. I ain't got to worry about no bed bugs. I ain't got to worry about, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to worry about all these other things that may come about because of the dorm, because the dorms are new and improved. Man, there's no telling what a student will become or do. So shout out to HT and shout out to the new things that are happening, man.
Right. So what I will say, next is that gym.
Yeah, next is that gym. That gotta y'all gotta put some AC in that bad boy if y'all want me to get back up in there.
Right.
Yeah, before I could work out up in there. Speaking of working out, let's talk about the Olympic breakdancing. Have you heard about that?
Not until like yesterday.
Not
bro.
as-
I did not know that was a thing. I had no idea.
Crazy, right? Crazy, right? So a dude named Jeffrey Lewis, he is actually based out of Houston. He's also known as breaking the world as B-Boy Jeffro.
B-Boy Jeffro. Okay.
He has actually created an emerging sport based off a judge's subjective point of view on how they can think of athletic performance. So he is actually performing in, I believe is it in Paris?
It is in Paris.
It is in Paris for the Olympic Games. So that is a very, very big achievement. How do you feel about this new realm of, I guess, dancing, or not really more so new realm, right? But a new experience as far as the Olympics goes coming to.
I think it's interesting. I'm curious because I know we went over the categories. I think it's like musicality, originality,
Right.
technique, execution, and vocabulary. I do not know
right.
what that means.
Yeah, me neither.
when it comes
Especially
to
when you're dancing.
right. So I'm curious, one, how they're going to measure those metrics, right? And in addition to that, I think it's interesting because it's a bit of like cultural exchange.
Yeah.
Right? Because keeping it a buck, breakdancing, b-boying, it's a definitively, black and brown American,
Right. Experience, yeah.
It's a black and brown Americans export.
Yeah, right.
To be honest.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you think of b-boying, you think of breakdancing. It came from, Puerto Rican kids and black kids in New York City at parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to see that in 40 years later, now it's an Olympic sport in 2024. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So I do love the fact that there's a cultural exchange, but I'm curious at this point, what are the top countries going to be? Because I know like breakdance is like real big in like Asia.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are we even the top?
Yeah,
country?
USA.
You know
top
what I mean?
country.
Like I don't know.
You think boys gonna be out there like breaking like in the 70s?
Hey
and
man,
bust out?
they gonna pull out some Jabberwockies, bro. It's some they gonna come from like South Korea,
Bro,
or
that'll be
somebody like that, bro,
crazy, yo.
and go crazy, dog. So I'm curious to see what the cultural exchange is gonna be like. I know the Americans are probably gonna bring some heat,
Yeah, of course.
but I'm curious to see who else from all over the country. I mean, not the country, the world.
Yeah.
What they're gonna be bringing, because I mean now it's a world sport. We got the internet. Anybody can learn how to breakdance or b-boy, and
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I think they said it's gonna be the Olympic qualifying event is gonna be June 16th.
Yes.
So y'all keep an eye on that. This is gonna be the first time on the Olympic stage, man. So I'm excited. What are you thinking about it?
Man, I think I'm definitely going to tune in for this. I will say that, and for two reasons. One, because it's fresh and it's new. Two, I think the other portion is, Texas. I want to support. I want to root for a Texas native, right? But I think this is something that can revigorate the Olympics for me, in particular. Like,
Right.
of course, we always want to see the 40. 400, you know what I'm saying? We always want to see the runs. We definitely want to see basketball, of course.
Yeah.
I think, that's always been exciting. But I think this is something new that'll make me, it's intriguing, right? It makes me want to be like, I wonder what they're and how they're judging.
So I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Olympics, dog, I turn into a super patriot,
Oh, yeah.
fam. I be red. It don't like, fam. You won't hear this from me the rest of the year. Let the Olympics come on.
Right. America.
I got on red, white, and blue overalls, no shirt.
Say, God bless
You know
America.
What I mean? God bless America. I'm that's all me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So watch, they gonna have this event, bro. I'm gonna be hitting the helicopter in the living room when they come on, man. So I'm
Yeah.
excited, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be definitely a different experience. It's gonna be a big cultural exchange. We're gonna see what happens June 16th, man. Y'all check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited to see what that comes out and rolls out to. Speaking of which, man, speaking of talking about Olympics and sports, man,
Right.
want to give a special shout out to this Texas softball team for earning the highest national seed program in program history, man. So I think that recently happened on last week.
Yep.
They were the 24th. They were scheduled for the 24th program in history. The University of Texas softball program will participate in the NCAA Division I softball championship league as the Longhorns. How does that feel being, born and raised in Texas? Shouting out the Longhorns,
Right.
seeing them do big things.
Yeah, man.
sports.
I know as of late, probably since maybe like 2011, UT softball is like really turned into a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, shout out to them. So now it's finally starting to peak. They've made some amazing runs. I think they've been seeded third. They've been seeded fourth. They've been seeded seventh in the entire field. But they are like at this point they are at the top of the mountain right now.
Shout out to
For the entire tournament. So with that said, that comes with you get like first round buys, I believe. Stuff like that, and of course you have to compete against the lowest seed. So you get for all intents and purposes you get the easiest route
Right.
to the I want to say it's the College World Series.
Yes.
If I get that wrong, y'all know my
They
heart.
gonna roast. No, they gonna
Right?
roast
Yeah,
you.
y'all know what I meant.
They gonna roast you in the comments.
But yeah, they got the easiest route to get to the national championship. So I'm not gonna lie. I think they got the first. I think this is gonna be their first shot. Wait, no, have they won a national championship?
I think they have.
I think this. If they win, I think this will be number two or three. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
But
Let us
man.
know in the comments. Let us know in
Yeah,
the
I'm about
comments
to say,
for
let
sure.
us know in the comments if we got the wrong info.
Yeah.
Drop some comments in there.
Yeah.
I know I wish I could pull my laptop up.
Yeah.
I can't check it in real
Nah.
time. But yeah, let us know if I got it wrong. Holla at your boy.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Texas Longhorns. They are doing amazing things. We're gonna see what this tournament is looking like. I think it's coming up next month. I want to see grand slams. I want to see homers.
Yeah.
I want to see
Triple
all
plays,
right.
all that,
Yeah,
all
man.
that.
Yeah,
I
man.
want y'all to go out there and wild out.
Yeah,
Wild
man.
out
I'm
for
trying
Texas.
to have my daughters have something to look up to when they see softball on TV, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Shout out to the Longhorn softball team.
So what about? So speaking of which, this softball experience, what do you think will be? Let's say they win.
Okay.
What does that mean to Texas? Aside from, of course, UT's back on top. What does that mean for Texas? Austin
It's really just like a manifestation of one, the resources that they have, right? Because Texas is unmatched when it comes to the resources that are being
Right,
put behind their
right,
athletics. It's
right.
crazy.
That engine, that machine.
Right. And two, it seems like Texas athletics overall is really like from every program top to bottom, right? And I'm not even talking about just like football, basketball, but like even when it comes down to like the rowing team and the golf team, and you know what I mean? Like it seems like everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Like I don't know Texas has any just terrible sports that they're just getting rolled over. Like everybody is at minimum a solid squad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the Texas just got elite athletes, elite athletics, man. So we're gonna see. I think right now, the softball team, I think they're 23-2 right now. So yeah, they're killing.
That's
I'm
a
not
good
gonna
ass
lie.
record, bro.
They're scheduled to play Siena, which I think they're like the bottom ranked.
Yeah.
They're gonna run through them girls.
Yeah.
man.
He said, God bless him.
Sorry for you, Sienna. I don't know what to tell you.
He said,
It's not gonna be
God bless him.
nice.
God bless him.
You know. But
boy
after that,
That man said 6:16 a.m.
yeah, right, yeah. But I know the winner of the Texas Siena game, I think they advanced to play the winner of the College Station Regional
Yeah.
with A&M. So
Yeah.
whoever, all right, when Texas wins,
Yes.
they're gonna go play A&M. I believe that is May 24th, man. So shout out, man. Roll over Siena right quick.
Right.
Let's go to A&M. Let's roll over them Aggies too. Get them out of there. You know what I'm saying?
And make sure y'all tap in.
Ain't nothing good coming out of College Station but barbecue.
Oh
Give me
man,
some brisket. Outside of that,
man.
I don't want no parts of College Station.
That boy, you heard that boy say
Get
it
him
first.
outta here.
He said, get him out of here. You heard that man say it first. Man, speaking of UT sports, you heard about this football player that had the little charge come up? Oh, yeah. Well, hey, well, look at that.
Right.
Have you heard about it?
I have heard about it. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
It's my understanding. I think his name is
Samaj?
Samaj. I know he had an incident.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go into too much detail.
Right.
But he had an incident that was tied to Tavondre Sweat.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The UT defensive tackle that just got drafted in the 3rd round.
Right.
Had an incident. Had some legal
No
charges.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that he has since left the football team. He has left the program.
Mm-hmm.
He entered the transfer portal a couple of weeks ago. Steve Sarkisian also announced that he is no longer a part of the team as of April 10th. Right? So I hope he bounces back from that. I don't want to spill the beans on your, on your charges. We want to try to keep it positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we hope the best for you because at 19, I was out here being stupid too. I'm not going to lie. I was a freshman. I was being goofy and I was doing stuff I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same case here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about that?
Man, I'm just prayers to the family first and foremost,
Right.
man. I think that it's a difficult, tough situation. Like you said, in Austin, I think that's just what it is. That's the thing to do sometimes. But, I really want to say that, again, like we said, we're not going to go too deep and don't want to get too negative into the situation. But
Right.
I know that this is something that's going to definitely impact his life. I really pray and hope that this is going to be a reflection for the greater things. But yeah, man, I want to see this unfold positively, but I can't see why. I can't see why.
Right. So man, let's keep it light, right?
Yeah,
So I know
yeah,
we
yeah,
already
yeah.
talked about that, man. So we talked about some awesome stuff, man. Let's go to a couple of current events.
Yeah.
Right? So
What you got?
we got Miss Anita Baker,
Oh,
right?
this is so if you want to clean your house on a Sunday afternoon, you got to turn this music on.
This is a woman. I literally grew up to her music. I remember as a child waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
My parents had Anita Baker playing on a vinyl.
Oh,
That's how throwback it was. On a vinyl record player, Anita Baker playing through the house. Like those are like my earliest memories, waking up at the house that I grew up in and hearing Anita Baker.
Yeah.
And so I've always been a fan of
Always.
Anita Baker. Once
Always.
I became an adult, I came back to her music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what's going on is apparently she's like canceling shows
Left and right.
left and right.
Yeah.
Like she had a Mother's Day concert in Atlanta, right? A Mother's Day concert in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she canceled like five minutes before she was supposed to go out.
Yeah.
Right? And I know if I had taken my mama
Mm-hmm. I'd be hurt.
to an Anita Baker concert and she just did not show like 5 minutes
I'd
before, she was
be-
like,
ooh,
all right, I'm gone.
I'd be hurt.
My mama would be sick, livid. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine how the crowd, I would have been sick.
Yeah, no, I
'cause
would have been
love
hurt
Anita
too.
Baker.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would have been sick had it been me. But apparently this is like a symptom of like a greater thing. Apparently she just be
Oh yeah. So
skipping out on shows.
yeah. Well, not just that. I think apparently last year during one of her shows, she actually forgot the lyrics while she was in mid performance.
Yeah.
So it might be a deeper, darker criminal link. I don't know. Not 100% sure. But man, prayers up to Anita Baker. But I just know I got the same sentiments you do. If I was in that situation where we chilling, you know what I'm saying? We ready for the show. We sitting there. We got our Sunday's best on.
Right.
For Miss Baker, ready to go. I want her to sing "You Bring Me Joy." You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I want her to give me the rapture. You know what I'm saying? And she can't provide that. I'm gonna be like Miss Baker. I'm unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
man.
But yeah, I feel really, 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 really uncertain about this. Waiting for more information because they said the reasons were unknown, right? Why she
Right. Still
canceled.
unknown. Nobody knows what happened. I hope Miss Anita is cool. Like I said, I've been hearing. I don't want to confirm anything because we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been hearing like that she just has a habit of canceling shows, kind of akin to like Lauryn Hill, right? Like because you buy a ticket to a Lauryn Hill show,
Oh man.
there's no telling what's gonna happen. Like, I don't know if you wasted your money or not.
He said, "Y'all gonna be there?"
You gambling with a Lauryn Hill ticket, and I think it's starting to turn into that because I know Anita Baker had like an issue with like I know she was on tour with like Babyface.
Oh,
and they had like a falling out.
They had a falling out
and
on Twitter. Right?
Yeah, and I know she fell out with another artist. So I mean, I don't know. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Hopefully, she's all good. But yeah, this seems to be like a bit of a recurring thing.
Yeah, notion.
You know what I
for her.
mean? So
What do you have you ever been to a concert that's like ran late or like just been straight up canceled like that?
now I've been the one that ran late. I went to see Erykah Badu.
Okay.
This was South by probably like 2010.
Okay.
Either
Erykah
09,
Badu.
2010.
Erykah Badu's on brand.
Right. Yeah. So they had a show. This was at Auditorium Shores for South by, and I was in college. I remember this vividly. We waited because we knew Erykah Badu was going to be there all night. So me and my gal at the time, and a couple of our friends.
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago. So long time ago. So we go and I'm like, oh man, I'm about to go see Miss Badu, all this other stuff. And so we're there all night. We watching the openers. I'm like, we listen to people I don't want to hear. So I'm like killing time, eating concessions, all kind of stuff. And she gets there, performs like a song and a half. And
A song and a
all
half?
right, y'all. I see y'all later. It was amazing. I'm like, what?
What?
You sang 8 bars. You sang 8 bars in dip. Like, what
So
am I gonna do with
unfulfilled
that?
right now.
I waited hours for this. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my personal experience.
Yo,
Experience
that's
with that.
nasty,
Yeah, man. What about you?
Man, I think this year, last year. Last year, I think my wife and I went to go see Jodeci at Cedar Park.
Not
at the
Jodeci.
Cedar Park Convention Center.
Okay.
So we get there. Show's supposed to start at 8:30, I think. 8:30, 9 o'clock. They a little seasoned, so they like
Right, yeah.
They trying to be in bed by 11.
Exactly.
We are too. I'm not
Exactly.
mad. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. So we ended up getting there right on time, sharp. We get we do the VIP parking because we don't want to mess around with our feet. Our feet hurt. You know what I'm saying? We trying to sit down. We get in there. We get a notification at 9 o'clock. Jodeci's not here yet.
Oh Lord.
We like, okay, well, Jodeci need to get here.
Right.
Where Jodeci at?
Right.
We get a notification at 9:30. Jodeci not here yet, and y'all can't sit down.
Y'all can't sit down.
We can't sit down. We pay for these tickets, sir.
Right.
I'm finna sit down. 9:45. It's not Jodeci's fault. HEB Center didn't get the speakers and mics for Jodeci, so Jodeci can't perform at all.
Nah, man.
10:15.
They pump faked y'all.
No, listen to me. 10:15. We get a
Okay.
notification saying that the mics and speakers are on their way.
Oh Lordy.
10:30. Me and a crowd of unruly individuals bum rush
Right.
to get to our seats, right? So 10:30 we sitting down. Everybody's sitting down chilling. We ain't having this no more. Meanwhile, we watching people set up the mics, speakers, sound, all this stuff. About 10:50, close to 11 o'clock, JoJo comes out and says, hey, y'all, this is not our fault. We waiting on them, but promise we going to give y'all an amazing show.
Okay.
We promise. And if y'all good, and he says, if y'all good, we going to give y'all a little bit of dwees or whatever.
Dwee. Okay. Okay.
We like, all right, brother. All right,
Yeah.
brother, make it snappy.
Right.
Make it snappy.
Tighten up.
10:15, DJ starts playing. We like, all right, fam, get on up out of here. We need the performers.
Yeah.
We need the performance.
Yeah.
Joe gets on stage at like 10:30. Like 10:30. He does maybe a 15, 20-minute set and has to burn.
Oh, bro.
And when I tell you I'm hurt, because I was like, okay, my wife was like, I want to see Jodeci. I was like, cool, I want to see Joe. Perfect. We get there. I'm listening to Joe. I'm, jamming.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to do the more and more, right? Of course.
Right, yeah.
He's like, I can't. Sorry, y'all. I can't.
I can't.
I gotta let my brothers get on stage. And we like, yo,
Bruh.
what? We waited, and it's 12 o'clock. Jodeci finally hits the stage.
Okay.
Jodeci does an hour performance, and me and my wife, we can't do no more. It's 1 o'clock. We
Yeah,
tired.
right.
We ready to go home.
Right.
So we're like, all right, we finna piece it out.
Uh-huh.
We walk out. Literally, as soon as we walk out, Jodeci says, all right, y'all have a good one. Thank y'all for letting us
They
come
was
out and
waiting on
bless
y'all
y'all.
to deal.
Boy, what?
It's like, oh, the St. Julian's gone?
Yeah,
All right,
we
y'all.
out. We are
We'll
out.
see y'all
So
around.
we waited almost 4.5 hours for a concert that was about an hour long.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So that was hurtful.
Oh,
That
Lord.
was hurtful.
I'd have been sick.
Yeah.
I'd have been sick, man.
Do not recommend.
Right, man. So now, since we're talking about concerts and events, man,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and go, roll into our upcoming events in the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So starting out, right.
Okay.
I know we had talked about it last time, but there are a few more events.
Okay.
That are going to be coming up this weekend. Well, the next couple of days and this weekend as well. Starting out, I know there is Rhythm and Brunch, right? So I know that is at Busy Signal, the former Victory Grill, the historic restaurant,
Right
and
by
concert
HT.
hall,
Right by HT, if y'all curious.
Yeah, the historic restaurant and concert hall on East 11th Street, historic venue. That is this Sunday, the 19th. There's gonna be a delicious menu, food, games. It said shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles, eggs Benedict, etc. Anything you could think of when it comes to brunch style food, it's gonna be there. So that's a new business operating out of the Victory Grill space. Y'all check that out. If you want to go to a brunch, you want to get some music, you want to get some good food, y'all pull up, check them out, support black businesses, see what they're talking about.
Yeah. Also, Do Not Disturb Collective. Shout out to Do Not Disturb.
Disturb.
Shout out to Jazz Asonder.
Yep.
They're having a brunch on Sunday, May the 19th. That is at Oseo, right?
Oseo.
Oseo.
Yeah, because
In East Austin.
I
at a-
believe it's Korean. That's the only reason I said it
yeah.
like, Oseo.
That's going to be in East Austin from 12 to 4 p.m. And the sounds will be by DJ Saunders. Shout out to Saunders.
So what's that called? The
Jeong
Brunch.
Yeah, Jeong Brunch.
Korean style.
Yep. Make sure
Korean
y'all-
style. So I
make sure y'all
think
check
it's gonna
that
be
out.
a
It's a nice little flavor.
Korean fusion
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
thing. So
That's
we gonna
like-
see. I think it's Korean brunch. Have you ever had Korean brunch?
I never had Korean brunch, but we
gonna
gonna
see. We gonna see what
I'm
they talking
intrigued.
about, man.
I'm intrigued.
Right.
What else is happening in the city?
Also, 2 Hour Lunch Break alum Tater Q.
Yep.
They have events going on all throughout the week, like we talked about last time. Thursday nights, they do a Thursday night karaoke every night. It is kid friendly up until 7 o'clock. So if you want to bring the babies, you can, but at 7, y'all got to get up out of
gotta
there and let the grown folks have some fun. Check that out. Also, Saturday, they're doing a Saturday brunch. So if you're in the mood for brunch on a Saturday, pull up. They got some bomb food. I ain't gonna lie. I'm partial to the chicken wings. Chicken wings go crazy. if we gonna keep it a buck. So if you want wings, if you want good wings, you want brunch on Saturday, check them out. Also Sunday, they have a Sunday Fun Day event at Tater Q. I believe it is from 12 to 4.
Okay.
So they got good music. If you're trying to twerk over your chicken and waffles, that's the place to be. Pull up. They have an amazing time. I don't know if y'all seen them on social media. They always have a ball. It's always something happening on a Sunday Fun Day. So pull up there as well if you're looking for something to get into on a Sunday.
Speaking of twerking over food, if you want to check out on Wednesday during the week, Down South Cajun East has a crawfish broil, a seafood broil, right, on Wednesdays. Make sure you check that out. That'll be a great, dope event. Awesome vibes, sections, bottles, drinks, everything that you can think of. And them boys know how to cook. So I got to give a shout out to the twins,
Shout out
alums,
Cajun Eats.
alums of the show, Down South Cajun Eats. Make sure y'all go check that out on Wednesdays.
Yeah, man, check them out. So I think that's some of the upcoming events
Yeah.
For the week, man. Let's go ahead and wrap up, man.
Yeah.
Let's say this is another edition of the 1 hour news break.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate y'all for taking the time out to sit down and chop it up with us. It's been a blast talking about everything that's going on in the city. Big shout out to our production behind the boards. You can find him at Cafe Yodo. Also, shout out to our home studio, Dawa Studios, and we can't leave out our sponsor, Favor,
Shout out
for
to
helping
Favor.
us make this night happen. Thank you for all the support.
Thank you. And you already know all episodes of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast can be found on all social media platforms. That is right, all digital streaming platforms or DSPs.
Yep.
You can find us at IG on 2HLB Pod and on X at the 2 Hour Lunch. We'll catch y'all next time. We out.
We out every Tuesday. Check us out. Pull up on us.
Right here.
Every Tuesday.
I thought you were saving